If you want your life to change, you change. That is the only way, because you cannot cheat the universe. You cannot cheat God. You cannot cheat circumstance. There's no way to do so. You have to literally change. You have to change into another person with a different mind, with a different identity. And this is done through repetition. This is done through practice. This is done through habits that compound over time. But when we seek to evolve, when we seek to grow and actually want to change, so we want to think positive thoughts, we want to become nicer people, we want to become more calm, more regulated, we want to become more informed about certain things, we want to become more enriching to society, we want to become more helpful for the people around us, we want to be able to give. That is how we step into our purpose in this life. And that is how our life changes and becomes madly abundant as a result. Abundance does not come from things that are not abundant. So these includes things that are destructive, right? Like thoughts that are destructive or habits that are destructive. These things by definition cannot be abundant. So they cannot yield abundance. The formula is very simple. Life is a mirror. It will give you who you are in various forms, in people, in circumstances, in karma. You cannot cheat life because you cannot cheat God. Life is just a concept. Life is not actually like a physical, tangible thing. It's measured under time, and we are not measured under time. Maybe our body is measured under time, but we as the infinite soul, the Atman, we are not measured under time. We are timeless, formless, truly. We just take various forms in different lifetimes, but we are not with form that is a lasting form. God, however, does retain his body, and his form is akin to him, just like his name is akin to him. But our name, the body we inhabit, the gender that we are, the accomplishments we carry out, these things are very much so temporary, and they will not be remembered by us or anybody else around us by the time that we're gone. So what can we do here and now? Well, we can seek to impact the people and the environments around us right here and right now with what we know, with our love, with our energy, with our authenticity. Authenticity is the way to step into your purpose. It's not by selflessly carrying out deeds that you don't feel alignment with. No. Because authenticity actually creates wealth. And in that way, then you can serve even more people. Right? So when one is authentic to themselves, authentic to their thoughts, authentic to their core personality, which is developed, it's not just, undeveloped. If one is undeveloped and they are expressing that and they call that authenticity, then they're simply, tricking themselves into thinking that they are who they are without actually knowing their soul, right? So you're living from your ego, which is authentic to your ego, but it's not authentic to you because you are the soul. So if you really want true authenticity and if you want to live authentically, you go within, you go into the soul. You seek to understand the soul, which will always be pure, unalloyed, loving, creative, expansive, expressive, non-judgmental, right? And when one lives in this way, then they become purified from most, if not all, karmic reactions. And this is the process of yoga, not physical yoga, but like bhakti yoga, expansion of consciousness, return to home, return to God. And in this way, one becomes situated on their highest timeline, you could say. They understand their purpose is to be. And as they be throughout the world and they perform the actions that they need to perform, they become rewarded. So this means that you elicit your love, your joy, your knowledge, your information, your talents, your skills, your abilities, your gifts in all ways. This means that you channel God through everything that you do. You're playing a sport, you're channeling. You're speaking, you're channeling. It's not you, it's God, and you are working for him. This is what it is to be situated on your highest timeline. This is what it is to be situated on your destiny timeline. And this is purpose. And wealth comes from this because, they say that you have to pursue your passions and you have to merge passion and purpose and all these things. That's very complicated. So I'm going to give it to you simply. You cannot know what your passions are unless you know yourself. Seek first to understand who you are. Seek first to know thyself. Once you know thyself, right, everything else becomes clear to you. So then you understand what your passions are. You understand what passion is even. And you understand that you can have passion with anything that you do. And anything that you do can be infused with joy and love and gratitude for life. And you take things easy, you relax a bit. You stop needing to have control all the time. That's the ego. And if one actively does not, if one does not actively seek to decondition themselves from this world and everything that goes on in this world, then they will remain in their ego. And then they cannot be their authentic self. They will live in fear, they will live in limitation, they will live in lack, because these are the symptoms of the ego, of ego control. Because the thing about the ego is that it actually controls us first, before it, attempts to have control over anything else, which it actually cannot, right? So the ego is something to tame. It's a tool. We use it as a tool. God has given us ego. God has given us only everything that is good. And this includes ego. There is nothing that God has given us that is not good. This includes your negative experiences. Something happened to you, right? I'll give you a personal anecdote. Something happened with me that I thought I could not recover from. I could not heal from, because it took a long time for me to heal. And I was thinking, this is a new challenge, you know what I mean? This is something that I have not dealt with before. How am I going to heal from this, And then I realized over time, I realized that anything that God removes, anything that God takes away from us, is also a gift, is also a blessing, because he will give as he wants and he will remove as he wants. And it's not just that we have to just be okay with it, but it's that we have to understand the blessing within the situation. And our understanding of the blessing within his removal is actually a blessing being manifested. That's how he can bless us. But until we understand the blessing, it'll just be as a negative situation. So we have to understand the blessing within this situation. Even if you have to kind of hypnotize yourself a little bit, or delude yourself into thinking that it was a good thing. Which at first I had to do. I was like, okay, this is a loss. This is a loss. How am I going to flip it? I can't flip the story. It's a loss. And then over time, and also over studying, because I like to study topics in relation to self-mastery, mental mastery, and how God operates as well. So through studying both externally and going within, I realized that it actually opened up space. It was a blessing tenfold, because it opened up space in another avenue for me. It got rid of a burden for me. It allowed for me to grow. It gave me pain, which is knowledge. All these things, So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that it was there, and I'm so grateful that it was taken away. I can experience new things now, So you may be thinking that, okay, this is great, but Seema, my situation is different. I'm going through this, health, finances, whatever it is. There is a lesson there. So because there's a lesson there, you must understand something, right? So the process of you understanding is the blessing. You must seek to understand. How else can God bless you the most? It's not through trinkets. It's not through money. It's not even through positive times with family or friends. These things are great, but God cannot make you learn unless it's through pain, He will not activate your consciousness unless it's through something that, breaks you, shatters you. So accept the shattering of the self. Accept, where life is taking you. Accept that you need to change and actually become matured by the situation, actually become more aware from the situation of his hand and how he works and how things work for you, not to you, for you, because we are truly the architects of this reality, and no two people share the same reality. That's why the true journey is always within. And that's why when you die, nobody can die for you, right? Nobody can mold or shape your consciousness for you. This is an individual journey that we're on. Life is a very individual journey. I don't know who told you that you need to be around people all the time, or that you need to even, get married or reproduce. I was just listening to something about this. Like, all of these things are just ingrained in us socially. Are they the most important thing? Or is personal liberation the most important thing? Life is a chance. Human life is a chance. Seek to understand God. How can you understand God if you are distracted? Or so upset at a situation that you think that it's bigger than you. You are bigger than everything that happens for you. That's why things happen for you, because you are bigger than things. If things were happening to you, that would mean that you are less than them, right? That you are helpless. But you're not less than any circumstance. You have come into this body, you experience circumstances that you have attracted in, that you've created, essentially, whether in this life or another life. You experience what has been given to you. You allow for it to shape your consciousness, expand your consciousness, grow in love. And at the time of death, you go back to God, who is everywhere. Like, it's quite simple. And this formula is written in the Gita. It's written in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's written in it's written in the Bible. It's written in any single text. I have the Bible staring at me over there. So we just have to have eyes to see. And actually, if you take the Bible and the Gita and you read them simultaneously side by side, you will see so many correlations between them. They're mystic books, and they point us in the direction of God and in his workings and how in how he works. So I want to encourage you to understand that passion and purpose and wealth and identity and all of these things, just remove it. It's a lot of noise. All you need to know is that you are on your specific journey. You have a duty to come back to the soul so that you can become authentic once more. In that state, you will find passion in everything, and then you will simultaneously find purpose with everything that you do, because you are awakened to the joy within things. Yeah? And then when you continue to act like that, perform your work like that, you become abundantly blessed by universe God. There's no shortage of anything in the world. And abundance is created from within, from that electric passion, from that electric energy that we carry when we know who we are and we move through the world accordingly. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I have one-on-one coaching that you can book with me down below if you're interested. I also have a course. Many things are down below in the description box. I love you very much. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and comment down below, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.